Welcome, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. This is Hang 10, Episode 2, with your host, Quinn Kalani. And if there's one thing that I do not understand, one concept that I do not understand, and that is, I don't think it's a myth. I'm pretty sure there's scientific evidence to support it, but I've never really subscribed to the idea of a runner's high. You know, one thing I've been doing a lot recently is I've been going for about a mile and a half to 2 mile runs every day or so. And I say that liberally. In the hottest part of the day, sometime between 3 to 5 p.m., 97, 98 degrees, full négligé. And you go through some things. You think about some wild, crazy shit. You know, you get that West Coast, Northern California sun beating down on you. You know, I don't see pink elephants or dwarven giraffes. Well, I don't see much of anything. But you do think about some crazy things. Now, in no way, shape, or form would I compare that to a legit high. You know, the only high I get from running is a high need for water. I have a high need to quench my thirst. Runner's high is like is like just having cotton mouth without actually being intoxicated. You get that endorphin release, but I mean that passes as soon as you pop a squat. That runner's high is that mid, that gutter bud. That's what that is. So I don't believe in it, but I'm going to keep doing it. You know, they said recently 7,000 people tested positive for the coronavirus a couple of days ago, and then 5,000 people tested positive the following day, and that's just in California alone. But they're also saying that there may be some new evidence that both light and heat are very, very potent antagonist to the coronavirus. So maybe we'll see. Maybe going for a jog at the hardest part of the day is just what the doctor ordered. Here's another reason why runner's high is bullshit. If runner's high was a real thing, there'd be a lot less fat people. Think about that. It's like those rhino dick pills, or those penis enlargement pills that they advertise on every porn site ever. If those existed, everybody would be taking them. You know, it's the same thing with this balding medication. If there was really medication out there, gentlemen, that could restore your hair, trust me, there wouldn't be a bald man alive. It's all horseshit. You know what's not horseshit? And that's UFC Fight Night. June 27th at the UFC Apex Center, Dustin Poirier, ranked number 3 in the world, took on Dan Hooker, number 5 in the world, at 155 pounds in the lightweight division in a 5-round affair. In what's got to be one of the top 5 fights of the year. If you didn't watch this fight, you are sorely missing out. If you're not watching UFC MMA right now, and you consider yourself to be a sports fan, a fan of athletics, you're missing out. This fight had everything that you want from an MMA fan's perspective. It had heart, grit, back and forth action, ebbs and flows, mountains and valleys. The first 2 rounds, Dan Hooker came out strong. He had established a pace I thought he was looking real good with his left hand. But he couldn't seem to do enough to pull away from Dustin Poirier. Even though I thought he won the first 2 rounds, Dustin was in him. And I believe it was at the very end of the first round, Dustin was landing some really hard shots, some really hard combinations. I felt like Dustin ended every round really strongly. Dustin's boxing was very clean in this fight too. I mean, anyone who watches the sport knows that Dustin's traditional boxing may be his strongest suit. I believe I saw the fight, a statistic at the end of the fight, 390 combined total strikes at the end of the fight. It was insane. But going back to Dustin, after that second round, there's a clear change. He really started to not necessarily pick it up, but it just seemed that the effect of his shots were landing were much more pronounced. There's a clear power difference between Dustin and Dan Hooker. Dan was landing clean shots. He was landing good shots. But I felt like his strongest shots, his best shots, were to the body and were to the calves. Particularly with the calf kick. He landed that really well in the first round. Really well. And he landed some hard body kicks in the second round and the first round. But it seemed at the start of the third round, and it seemed, incredibly evident in the fifth round, that defensively he had begun to fatigue. And man, Dustin was landing some nasty combinations. There was one combination, was it at the end of the second round, maybe the third? Dustin was pressed up against the fence, and man, just staying in the pocket, utilizing sound defensive boxing, slipping, trunk movement, head movement. Was avoiding all of Daniel's strikes and just launching back with intercontinental ballistic missiles, painting Dan Hooker's face. It was awesome. Awesome. He ended up winning a 5-round unanimous decision, Dustin Poirier, that is. And, man, one step closer to another title shot for Dustin Poirier. What a long career. I think he's going to wait to the end of September, maybe late August at the earliest, late September at the latest, for Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. That fight will decide the undisputed UFC 155-pound lightweight champion. Now, we've already seen that fight once between Dustin Poirier and Khabib. Khabib does what Khabib does. Took him down. Mauled him. For all intents and purposes. There was one moment, though, I believe in the second round, where Dustin caught Khabib. And for a brief moment, Khabib Nurmagomedov looked human to the rest of the world. For Dan Hooker, this I don't think this loss damages his stock too much. It was a fight. It won fight of the night. It's a fight of the year contender. Where he goes from here, I don't think he slips too far back. Maybe a rematch with Paul Felder. Maybe a fight with Charles Oliveira would be fun. Charles Oliveira is the UFC record holder for most submission victories in the UFC. And I believe Dan Hooker is the only Kiwi to have a submission victory. So that could be fun. In the co-main event, Mike Perry pretty much just blasted Mickey Gall from pillar to post. Mickey Gall's young career, I'm not really sure to make sense of. There was a evidential jump in technique and skill in the striking department for Mickey Gall. But I mean, Mike Perry. Mike Perry, he doesn't get the love he deserves, man. I think people, kind of overlook him because he's loud, he's rambunctious, flamboyant. I mean, he didn't have any cornermen in this fight. His girlfriend was his cornerman. No coaches. No striking coach, no kickboxing, no Muay Thai, no Jiu-Jitsu coach. Just his old lady. Mike Perry's a character. And he goes out there and he, slips the right hand over the jab consistently and just blast Mickey Gall all over the octagon. I'm surprised, honestly, that Mickey Gall, I'm surprised that he made it out of the fight. There were some moments where I was like, oh, okay, he's done for sure. Where Mike Perry goes from here, top 15 welterweight, maybe Jeff Neal. I think a Robbie Lawler fight would actually be a lot of fun. Robbie Lawler versus Mike Perry, chaos, pure chaos. It should make the MMA gods happy. Blood sacrifice, why not? Totally, we're all for that. But, I mean, that's pretty much it on my side of the world. I want to thank you guys for stopping by and listening again. Just not much going on. Trying to do what I can to switch the media I take in from less woe is our situation to more optimism, more hope, more good things. So, if there's only thing I can recommend, perhaps I would recommend you do the same. And I would recommend coming back next week. Maybe we'd have some cooler stuff to talk about. Until then, adios and take care. God bless.